All right, gang, I'm going to go ahead and get started because it's 11:32 and they're going to cut me off at 12. So I'm Matt Tibbetts, super glad that y'all came today. Thank you for jumping in this little kind of TED Talk together. My goal is just to give you about 20 minutes of content and then 10 minutes of just Q&A so we can really dive deep. And I like really talking about this stuff, so it can go any direction. But what I want to accomplish in this time is give you 3 clear steps to land the job you love. I want to give you 3 really clear steps that takes you from A to Z, that takes you out of the passive mode of post and pray and apply and pray and hope that something bites you and scoops you out of it's like Toy Story where the claw comes down and picks out the little squeezies, right? The claw. We're just waiting for that job to come get us. And what I want to do is put you in the driver's seat and say, go get it. Go get the job that you love. So it's really important to me that we go find work that we love because I believe that God made each one of us in his image and with specific skill sets and personalities and ways that we can serve the world. Work, interestingly enough, in the Bible was created before the fall. It was something that God said, go do work before the fall even happened. And so I love the idea of work. I love the idea of career because it's a way that we honor God with the ways that we've been made. And when we find people that are doing work that they love, talking about what Dr. G was just talking about, they have less stress, they're enjoying what they're doing. They might work hard and be tired, but they come home fulfilled. You ever do a job really hard all day, but then you put your feet up at the end of the day and go, man, that felt good. You know that feeling of satisfaction? Like you mowed the lawn and the lawn looks perfect, right? You're sweaty, but you feel good. That's the kind of work you want to be doing in your 9 to 5. What if you could work that 9 to 5 and you're tired, but you feel good, right? That's what we're after today. So in this little handout, if you don't have one of these, I think everybody's got one of these. There are stacks of them right there. I'm just going to walk through this because 20 minutes is not enough time to unpack this entire thing. So I wanted to give you some resources to take home with you and some connections. We talked about why this matters. Step number 1, and if you've got a pen, you can just circle, discover your personal brand. That is step number 1. Discover and share your personal brand. Here's the challenge, and I am not going to pick on you, Bob, but I'm just going to use you as a great example. Here's the challenge with many, many job seekers is you've got experience, you've got skills that you've brought to the table, but it's really hard to articulate what you want to do next, right? And that's a challenge for a lot of job seekers. You're not alone in that. A lot of people are coming from a field, whether they be my brother-in-law who's transitioning out of the military, whether it be a friend of mine who's transitioning out of ministry, whether it be a tech sales that's transitioning to something new, right? How do I now articulate what I'm looking for? And here is the key. You must figure it out for yourself and create your own personal brand or recruiters will never hire you. Recruiters every day are wasting calories trying to find the right people for the job. What's the shortest path between finding the person they need and filling the job? Finding the right person that has exactly what they're looking for. So when they see a resume that doesn't match, what do you think they do? Next, swipe right. Just keep moving. We're just going to keep going through until I find the person that matches. So we as job seekers have to be really good about articulating, here's who I am, here's what I want to do, and here's my personal brand. When I see job seekers, so we interview thousands of people every year at Express. When people come to us, our first question is, what do you want to do? And they say anything. We go, oh no, anything's not going to cut it. I'm sorry, we got to do something. Do you want to be a janitor? Well, no, I don't want to be a janitor. Do you want to drive forklifts? I've never done that before. Do you want to do accounting? Oh, I hate accounting. Okay, so anything is baloney, but you just made me burn calories trying to figure out what you want to do. So you need to do some calorie burning on your own and get really good at what's here on the sheet. What are you known for? What fires you up? And what could you make money at? Do some work on that. I'd recommend a personality assessment. There's a couple that I recommend on the back here. DISC is a good one, 16personalities.com. mynextmove.org. There's some free personality assessments, number 5 on the resources there. If you're struggling with, I don't know, here's the reality. There are people that love accounting, and I'm not one of them. So somebody, God bless them, goes home every day saying, I love my work in accounting every day. I'm so thankful that's my accountant. Because it's not Matt. Matt is a people person, and he does not love that. So you have something that you love to do that someone will pay you for that's different from everybody else applying. Articulate that. put it to words. And we live in a golden age right now of ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude and all the cool AI tools. Take that assessment, throw it in a tool, and start querying the tool and say, chat, here's what I got back. I'm a very detail-oriented person. I'm a high C on the DISC assessment. I like slow-paced jobs. Give me some ideas of jobs that would be a good fit for me. You'll get a list of 20. Okay, tell me the companies in Ellis County that might have that job. You'll get a list of 20, and now we're gonna take it to step 2. Does that make sense? So first step, we've got to get clarity around your own personal brand, and you have to be able to articulate it. I'm gonna keep going, so if you have questions on that, just put a pin in it. We're gonna come back to it. Targeted job search plan is step number 2. So if you're taking notes, just put a 2 next to that. On my next version of notes, I'm just gonna go ahead and 2 it for you. But targeted job search. So this comes straight out of a book called 48 Days to the Work You Love. You see it right there. All-time favorite job-seeking book. It just energizes the process. Welcome, thanks for coming. Grab a handout and a card right there because you can follow along. So in 48 Days to the Work You Love, he really walks through, this is really the bedrock of this whole presentation, is he walks through first self-discovery, and then he walks through targeted proactive searching. This is the difference. 48 Days to the Work You Love talks about how to land 3 job offers in 30 days. How do you do that? You put yourself in the driver's seat instead of the passenger seat. So the way you do that is you go through these steps. First, identify 30 to 40 target companies in your area that you'd want to work for. You don't want to work for all of them, but you can query, you can use the Chamber of Commerce, we can use Google, we can use chat, maybe it's an industry specific thing that you like to do. Any of the different categories, maybe you love a nonprofit, maybe it's a values thing that you're attracted to. Find a list of 30 to 40 companies, make a spreadsheet. Welcome, glad you're here. Grab a handout as you're coming in. We're gonna follow through that, and yeah, grab a couple of seats over here. But start making a list of 30 to 40 companies that you would love to work for. And now, here's the mindset that every job seeker has to get into. You are a product on the shelf, and you are your own best salesperson. I was having this conversation with a friend the other day on the way home from work. I was talking to him about his job search, and that one idea changed his mentality, and now he's been proactive in getting the job that he loves. He knows he's currently underpaid. He knows he's been at a job for years that he could be doing more and being paid more, but he's just been waiting for the claw to come and get him, and he hasn't gone and found the job himself. I said, brother, you are the product on the shelf. Go knock on some doors, go send some handwritten notes, go send some outreach connections with, hold what you got, your personal brand statement that here's what I am, here's what I can do to bring value to your organization, when can we meet? You start building those relationships. Another great book, this is a side, I'm a book nerd, but is The Power of Who by Bob Bodine. The tagline is, you already know everyone you need to know. And I believe that to be true. So chances are you make the list of 30 to 40, and then you take that list to your friends, family, church, any community groups you're part of, and you say, hey, do you know anybody that works at these companies? Like, oh, you're interested in ABC? Yeah, my friend Joe runs that place. Let me get you a cup of coffee with him, right? So you start working through that network, you add people on LinkedIn, you see who their connections are, because at the end of the day, humans need humans to get jobs done. It's not all AI and ad scraping and resumes that's gonna fill these jobs. What we need is human connections, and we need to put ourselves, the product on the shelf, in front of somebody. Your whole goal is getting an interview. Every one of you in this room would sell yourself in an interview. You just need an interview. We gotta get the applications, the AI scraping, and everything else to get to that interview. So we make a list of 30 to 40. Now you're in the driver's seat. Here's the 3 critical steps of the job search, bottom of page 1. This is genius because nobody does this. I guarantee you nobody in this room has done this yet, and that's how you know that 100% of other people aren't doing it. So if you want to be the 1%, take these steps. First step, send a letter of introduction, not an email. I said letter, a physical letter. Like go to TJ Maxx and buy some note cards and say, hey, Tom, I'm interested in your position in a company. Here's who I am. I'm going to be following up with you next week with my resume. What I saw on your mission statement about bringing hope through employment really resonates with me. I'd love to talk more. Send that to the first 15 people on your list. Then 1 week later, send your resume and cover letter to a real person, not to HR, but to the actual person that you've identified. The internet has all the names, so we're getting on LinkedIn, we're doing the research, we're doing the work on our end, but now you've got the proactive steps to find the names. So you've sent the card, the handwritten note. It blows people's mind to get a handwritten note. The one person that's ever done this in my career got hired at the company that did this. We're like, she sent us a handwritten note. unbelievable. Hire that girl. So we hired her. 1 week later, you send your resume. 4 to 5 days later, follow up with a phone call. In sales, the adage is it takes 5 to 12 touches to get a sale. So in job seeking, it's the same truth. If we think we're going to make one application and get a sale, we're wrong. We're going to have to make 1,000 applications if we want that metric to work out. But if you do 1,000 applications and work it in the math of 40, and you do 10 touches per those companies, send one note, send a resume, connect on LinkedIn, do a cover letter, make a phone call, follow up in a couple weeks, and now you're at 6, send a follow-up. One of those is they're going to go, you know what? Have that person come in and interview with us because they are too good. If they follow up like this to get a job, wait till they're on the job, right? That's what we're demonstrating is who we are on that follow-up process. So you start those 3 steps, you keep a little Excel spreadsheet for yourself, 40 companies, you're working through it as you're talking to people in your network, you're explaining your clear intent, here's who I am, here's what I'm looking for. They say, well, have you applied to so-and-so? Have you applied to this? And you start gathering that onto your list, keep adding hot leads. Use Indeed to be a lead generator for yourself, what companies are hiring, but then follow this process outside of Indeed because you're gonna be one of 1,000 in Indeed. Everybody's just posting and moving on, click and apply like everybody else, but you're not. So you're gonna get attention by taking this process. So far, so good. I know I'm going fast. So far, so good? Yes. Everybody, all right. It's like, give me an amen or something. I don't know. Here we go. All right. Last but not least, craft your elevator pitch. We're flipping the page here. And so again, this is very similar to creating your clarity. The reason step 1 exists is because you have to do the own soul-searching work, the personality assessment, the ask your friends and family, what am I good at? What lights me up? What are the jobs that I've most enjoyed? Now it's crafting that elevator pitch to be able to tell it to somebody else. Here's what I love to do, here's what I'm good at, and here's where I'm going next. I have some vision about what I want to do. So when somebody approaches our company about looking for work, that's what I'm trying to find out about them. Who are you? What do you like to do? What are you good at? And where are you going? Can my job help you get there? I don't like hiring people for our team that says, well, I'll take your job, but I really want to be a UI coder down the road. Like, okay, you're going to be here for 5 months till you find your other job. But if somebody says to me, hey, Matt, I'd love to come work for your company. We're hiring internally right now. And they said, Matt, where I see myself in the next 5-10 years is growing in the recruiting and staffing company business. I want to own my own location one day. And I would love to be in this business of helping people. I'm like, you're on the same track I am. Why don't you come join our team? So we're articulating that purpose statement to the companies we're applying for. And it doesn't have to be that you want to own the place one day or be a manager or have some lofty goal. It could simply be, what I'm looking for is a new challenge to utilize my skill set in being detail-oriented and supply chain. What I want to do, what I'm really good at is keeping things organized, and what I'm looking for is a steady job for the next 5 to 10 years. I can get behind that. We just have to be able to articulate it. If you can't articulate, again, recruiters and those that are doing the hiring are burning calories, and they're picking the people that burn the least. They only have so many they can burn a day. So we got to make it simple for them. We got to make it easy as 1, 2, 3. If you make it easy as 1, 2, 3 for the places you're applying and the managers you're talking to, you're going to start to get response. Clarity gets response. The hardest part about job seekers is trying to get them to be clear about what you're looking for. And if you can do that work in step 1, step 2, you start sharing that clarity. With step 3 of your elevator pitch, you're going to start getting meetings, interviews, coffees, lunches, connections, and that's going to lead to your next job. Does that make sense? All right, bonus, and then I'm just going to open this up to questions. Nail your first impression. So you get the interview, please nail it. Please nail that first impression. Research the company, show up early, bring your resume, pens, a question, couple questions. I had an interview yesterday. I said, what questions do you have for me? None. Okay, you're not the person for us. All right, so I want to know that you can see how you can bring value here. I need you to ask something that's like showing me that you're engaging with this conversation. If you can ask a single question, I'm out. So bring some questions. Smile, handshake, eye contact. Dress one level up. That's a good tip. And so whatever position you're applying for, if you're applying for you're the solar company and you're going to go do solar sales, they're wearing jeans and a polo. I'm going to wear slacks and a button down, right? I'm not going to wear a 3-piece suit because that's like 3 levels up. But I'm going to wear slacks and a button down. So I'm going to just do 1 level up from the job I'm applying for. And then mind your mindset, power pose. I love this idea. This comes from a book called Presence, and it just talks about before we walk into a situation where we've got nerves, we've got anticipation, we're going to just power pose. So here's what I see job seekers doing the most. When they come into our office and they're sitting in our lobby waiting for a job, they look like this. Or they're on their phone. What posture is this? Low energy or high energy? Low energy, right? When you have put yourself in a low energy posture, it affects your mindset. Your mindset affects your body posture, but your body posture, research shows, also affects your mindset. So when somebody's nervous, you know what they do? Just subconsciously, touch their neck, pick at their face, play with their hair, right? That's what people do when they're nervous. When people are confident, what do? Show me. When people are confident. See that energy in the room just lifted instantly. Their chest is up, their legs are spread. They take up space because they know that they deserve to take up a little bit of space. Not like awkwardly space, but they take up sufficient space. They're comfortable. Jordan Peterson would say 12 rules of life. Head up, shoulders back, right? So before I go on stage, I didn't do it today, I should have. But the last time I was giving this talk, I thought to myself, I need a power pose for her. So I went to the bathroom and I just go, throw those shoulders back, get in a stall by yourself, whatever you gotta do. I get my body posture to tell my mind, I'm gonna kill this interview. I'm gonna kill this presentation I'm about to do. Because if I walk in the opposite is true. So before you walk in, mind your mindset, get your mind right, let your body posture inform your mind that you're about to kill it, you're gonna ace it, you're gonna be the best version of yourself, and you'll actually do a whole lot better than if you just sit there on your phone beforehand. It's actually the worst thing you can possibly do is scroll before an interview. Before an interview, you want to be thinking clear-headed, shoulders back, head up, excited, anticipation, edge of your seat. Come walking out, Joe, nice to meet you, right? That's the impression that we want with that firm handshake. Amen. Does that make sense? Yeah, because you met the alternative, right? Hi, I'm looking for a job. Oh no, we've met that. When you're the opposite of that, it changes everything. All right, so I'm going to leave you with a couple resources, action steps, and then we're just going to, I've got 10 minutes left for just conversation. So here's what we're going to do. Action steps walking out of here. Clarify your personal brand values, hedgehog concept. So the hedgehog concept is the intersection of your passion, what you're good at, and can make money at. If you can figure out, I love doing this, I'm actually dang good at it, and somebody will pay me for it, that's where you want to be. Don't do something you're not good at and passionate about. You won't make a lot of money. Don't do something you're good at and hate because it'll burn you out. But if you can find something you're good at, you enjoy doing, and somebody will pay you, now we're talking, hedgehog concept. Research the companies you want to work for, and I should add on there, and pursue them. And then finalize your elevator pitch, practice your pitch and first impression. Love this quote, don't ask yourself what the world needs, ask yourself what makes you come alive, and go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive. So we've got some resources right there below. For a 3-minute recap on this talk, I managed to squeeze it into 3 little minutes. I made a YouTube short, it's on that QR code. So you can literally watch this talk back in 3 minutes flat and get the ideas again, and there's some of the resources there. So top to bottom, talk to me. We've got 10 minutes. Where are you running into obstacles? Which one intrigues you?